Hey guys, Drew here. I'm in the woods today capturing some time lapses with the MIOPS Capsule360 time-lapse device. This device can pan your camera in 360 degrees while taking a time lapse, and it's all powered by a cool app. In this video, I'll show you how it works, and then I'll share my thoughts on the MIOPS Capsule360. It's worth mentioning that Sony cameras do have built-in time-lapse apps. You can download them onto your camera, and you don't need an intervalometer or any sort of device like this to do a time-lapse. However, in my personal experience, they are kind of buggy, they crash a lot, and because of that, I don't rely on them at all. I've been using an intervalometer for years. It's just what I choose to do because I can trust the intervalometer and I can't trust the apps in the Sony camera. But a standard shutter remote or an intervalometer is sometimes limited in its capabilities, so there's an opportunity to really improve the quality of your time lapses with devices like the Capsule360 by MIOPS. So in full disclosure, this is not a paid review, but they did send me this at no charge. These are my honest thoughts after using it for the past couple months. MIOPS has a really good library of tutorials on their YouTube channel that show you how this device works and how their other products work too. So I don't feel like I need to make this video a comprehensive how-to video. I am going to explain how a few of the functions work because I feel like it's necessary in order to share all of my thoughts about this piece of equipment. So let's just jump right in. So to start the time lapse, you need to connect the Capsule360 to your phone. So you power on the Capsule360, open the Capsule360 app on your phone, and the device will show up on the list of available devices. Tap this to connect. Here the app shows a list of functions you can perform with the Capsule360, like basic time lapse, long exposure time lapse, bulb ramping, and more. Some of these, like the follow me function, use your phone instead of a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. So I'm going to show just a basic time lapse. So I'm going to tap on that. It shows the angle of rotation. Right now it's at 0. The frames per second of the final video, the interval of the shots, and you can also determine how long the video clip of the time lapse is going to be. So I'm just going to set one up here as an example. Tap the pan rotation circle here to adjust the start position of the camera. You have a little orange dot here. You can slide it left or right, and you can see that the camera is already moving. You basically just use this to set at the starting point of your time lapse. And then I'm going to click next. You set up the ending point of your time lapse, and you can see in the top right, it's showing you how many degrees that is. And then you say finish. Warning, do you want to go to the next step? Yes, I do. I'm going to change my interval. Let's make it 5 seconds. And then the final play time is going to be 15 seconds. When you hit start, it takes you to a new page where you can see some information about the time lapse you are capturing, like the remaining time, the frames that you're on in the bottom right, and a little bit more information about the settings that you have on the top. So the reason I went through this whole process is to show you how easy it is and how detailed your time lapses can be with this app. And this is just the basic time lapse. When you get into bulb ramping and some of the other functions, it's really an advanced piece of equipment. In terms of its ease of use, I literally opened the box, downloaded the app, connected them, and started using the thing without ever reading instructions or feeling like I had to look up how to do it. It's just really easy to use. Speaking of first opening the box, when I did, my first reaction was that the Capsule360 is really small, which is good for people who are traveling content creators or people who have to hike long distances to get to their photo and video destinations. One thing I was concerned about was how stable the camera would be on top of this device. You add like a base plate, then you have the device, you have another base plate. Once this is all combined, is the camera going to have a lot of shake on top? And I was pleasantly surprised with how well the Capsule360 held everything together. It has rubber on the bottom and the top, so your base plates and your camera attach really well. It really grips it, and it does a really good job of keeping everything nice and solid so you don't have a lot of shake when your time lapse is going. This is made of plastic, but it feels nice and rugged. I would be totally confident taking this with me on a backpacking trip or some sort of outdoor video shoot. And even with base plates connected, it fits pretty easily into your camera bag, just like a lens would. So the battery life. I honestly never entirely ran this thing to empty. It lasted so long that the tests were always interrupted before I could drain the battery entirely. I have done 2 back-to-back overnight time lapses, and after the second round, it was still just plugging along, doing great. Another thing that the MIOPS Capsule360 does that I really like is that after you set it up through a Bluetooth connection, you don't have to always be connected to it or within a Bluetooth range for the time-lapse device to function. If you set this up and you walk away, you walk out of Bluetooth range, you'll see that it says disconnected, trying to reconnect. That's fine, it's still capturing your time lapse. And if you go back in range of the Bluetooth connection, it will automatically connect. It shows you the most recent information. It never stopped capturing the time lapse. So that's something that I really like. So I think this is a valuable time lapse tool that definitely has a home in my bag, and I think it's worth checking out.